Now, one of the most exciting elements of Knowledge Forum is the assessment tools that are embedded in the program. This is one area actually where there's a lot of development that is currently taking place. There's a lot of new and exciting tools that are being created and developed by a really wonderful team, but we do have some basic tools that are present in this version of Knowledge Forum, and you can access them only if you're a manager. So if you have manager status, you'll be able to see this tools link on the upper right corner of the view, and when you click on that link, you'll get a dialog box. On the left-hand side is a list of all of the existing assessment tools. We currently have 3 that are functioning right now. And on the upper right-hand side here, this just gives you a selection of the different parameters that you can choose. So what exactly you want these tools to measure. In terms of this drop-down menu here, this just gives me access to all of my different Knowledge Forum communities. So I want to restrict my evaluation to the contributions that are in this particular Knowledge Forum community. I'm going to leave that at the default. The default is just set at the particular community that you're in at the moment. You can also select the number of views that you want to search and you want to have the tools assess. So if you want to look at a general level, I'm going to leave it at all. If, for instance, you have particular student groups or community members working in particular views and you just want to assess those particular community members, you can select individual views. If you want to assess one student, so you're doing individual evaluations, and you want to use the assessment tools on individual students, you can select individual students here under the users box. But if you want to do group assessments, you just leave it at the default, which is all. And this section here just lets you do a time restriction. So if you want to just constrain your assessments around a particular time frame, you can do that here by clicking on these empty boxes and selecting the dates that you want to restrict your assessment to. So I'm just going to leave it right now on default. I'm going to look at all of the notes that exist in all of the views in this Knowledge Forum, and it'll be a group assessment. So it'll look at all of the community members' contributions. So I'll go over here to my assessment tools on the left, and I'll click on lexical analysis to begin. Now when I click on this link, it opens up and gives me an empty box here. And what I can do in this box is type in a lexicon. So type in some key terms that I want to be able to track in my Knowledge Forum community. So for instance, if there's particular curriculum terms that I want to look for or key concepts that I want to see that the community members are using, I can type them in manually here. So in this particular community, we're discussing insects and bees in particular. So I'll type in some keywords we might want to look for. Okay, and when I'm done typing in the keywords, I just simply click this button here, Count Word Occurrences. And what I see displayed here in the results window is the lexicon. So these are all the terms that I am searching for that I've included up here in this lexicon box. In the middle column here, I can see the frequency, so the number of times these particular words are used in the discourse going on in this Knowledge Forum community. And then I can see the notes in which these words appear. And I can see also how many times the words appear in each note. Okay, so I can scroll down and easily see which terms are being used most frequently. So now I want to use the scaffold support tracker. The scaffold support tracker allows me to trace the frequency of use of different scaffolds in my Knowledge Forum community. So I can see how many times all of the members are using a particular scaffold. And in this way I can get an overview of the diversity of contribution moves that are being made. So I can just click on the scaffold support tracker link. And what I'll be able to see is a list of all of the scaffold sets and the corresponding scaffold supports that I have available in this Knowledge Forum community. So I'm just going to select all of those supports that I want to track. I'm going to select every support that I have available because I want to get an overview of all of the different contributions that are being made. And I can just scroll down. Okay, so once I'm done that, I'm going to go down here to the Count Scaffolds button and click that. And what I will see is a simple bar graph that will give me an overview of the number of times particular scaffolds are being used by community members. So one of the things you can note from this example here is that there's very little experimental evidence, for instance. Perhaps we'd want to encourage community members, or the group itself will decide that we need perhaps more experimental evidence to help substantiate our theories. Also, we might want to use other scaffolds that aren't present here, for instance, putting our knowledge together or our improved theory. So this is the kind of information that the scaffold tracker can offer. Okay, so now I'm going to close the scaffold support tracker and I'm going to take a look at vocabulary growth. So here, when I click the vocabulary growth link, what shows up is simply a button, and I'll click that button here. And what I'm given in the results window is a line chart that tracks by either monthly or weekly measurements increases in the total words and total unique words used by community members. Okay, we can look at the weekly parameters as well. And again, you can track this for the group in general and also for individual students. And so those are the three existing tools in Knowledge Forum. There's, as I mentioned, quite a suite of very sophisticated and powerful tools that are being developed, and it will be exciting to introduce them to you in subsequent videos.